Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Rockin' Token Talkin' UK. It's going to be an amazing episode, I promise you. We're just waiting for everybody to kick in and join us here. Usually takes a few minutes, Jackie. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. I guess we're waiting for audio. We're going to be waiting for lips, and we got a very special guest today. I'm so excited. I'll just let you wait and see.
Hey.
Hi, how are you? Happy
Thank you.
Monday. How was your gig last night?
I'm shattered. I'm not used to these late nights.
I hear you.
That killed me.
Oh, COVID has made us older, I think, a little bit. How comfortable?
We're so used to going to bed. We can't do anything. We can't go out. So it's like usually going to bed at a normal. Well, I get up for meditation anyway, so it's kind of get up early. So I got to bed a little bit early. But now it's like, oh my goodness, that nearly killed me last night. I didn't get to sleep till 2:30 last night. I got to bed.
Wow, how many people were there?
It's crazy. Oh, Graham's on. It looks like he's made it.
I think Lips will be joining us today as well, and Lane, of course.
Yeah.
We have a new aspect to the show too. We're gonna ask some trivia game questions, play a game, see who wins. They're pretty funny. They're pretty funny.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's what Ben's bringing in today. Hi, Graham, how are you?
Hey, Graham, managed it.
Can you see me all right?
Not yet. We can't see you. Can hear you.
So at the bottom of your screen should be a button that says start video.
Picture of a camera with a line through it.
Got it.
There we go.
Hey, Graham.
Hi, Graham. Welcome. Here comes Lips. Here comes Lips. Oh boy. It usually takes a few minutes for us all to get connected, which is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. What an honor.
It's my pleasure.
Truly.
How are you, Graham?
I'm fine. Are you? How did your gig go?
Oh, it was mental. One gig, I'm half dead after one gig. So I'm so unused to all these late nights now. That was such a late night after all these lockdown nights.
Yeah, Jackie played last night. Welcome, Lips. How are you today?
I'm good. How's it going?
Really well. Really well. Very happy.
How's it going, Graham? And how are you doing, man?
Doing fine, and we meet again.
Yeah, we meet again.
Wow. When was the last time you guys saw each other?
About a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. Yeah.
What were you up to?
I think it was something with Japan, weren't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen you. We haven't been on a gig with you for ages, have we, Graham? It's been a while. All of a sudden, we're playing every gig with you. Now we haven't done one for ages.
Oh, I know.
It's not looking like we'll be doing anything while 2022 ODS.
Yeah.
Have you not done anything this year, Graham?
I did a T-Rex thing because they hired me to play guitar with Timothy Spall in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a movie for Netflix.
That sounds great fun.
It was great fun. We had to be on set at 8 o'clock in the morning, have a COVID test, and then play the same song over and over again for about 8 hours.
Oh, God.
No lip sync and no click track. So I'm just hoping that it's going to continuity. It's going to edit together.
They'll do it. You know, it's like this tech stuff. This is about as high tech as I get. So.
I know.
Amazing. That sounds fun. How did that come about then, Timothy Spalding?
Because I did a gig in Germany on my 60th birthday with Andy Fraser, Lordy, and Doro playing a Mark Bolan song. They hired me to play guitar. I'll send you the video. I don't know if you've seen the video. I'll send it you later.
Yeah, send it.
So these guys who were producing it saw it, and they thought they'd like to use the same lineup. It's the ex-drummer who replaced Bill Legend.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. That sounds great fun.
Yeah, it does. Please share it with me as well. I will share it as far as I can across our networks as well. Yeah. This is going to be the first episode of Rockin' Token Talkin' UK that goes up on TV syndication. Very, very proud.
He's not from UK.
Well, I mean, it's incredible. Since I met Lips, it's just been one amazing person after another, starting with Jackie and, leading up to here. I think this is an amazing full circle. Do you remember that quote you said, Lips, when you met Lemmy on the show?
Who
What
did
he
I
said
meet?
to you?
Who did I meet?
Lemmy, when you met Lemmy and you were talking to him?
That's-
Trying to find that quote in like 60 hours of video. Oh my gosh, look at that. Say something, Graham.
I toured with Lemmy in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
I know. Let's see
You
the
want
picture
the-
again.
He wanted me to do Foxy Lady on his covers album. Even though he could get better guitar players than me, I'm sure, in LA, like Mitch Perry and all them whiz kids. But he wanted somebody who would play it from the heart with empathy. But
Aw.
it never happened. It would have been great if it happened, but it nearly happened.
Well, I think that it's an amazing 6 degrees of separation all across my page, how many people have touched or played with Motorhead, and I think that's really cool. But I guess you don't remember what you said, Lips. It was a fabulous quote. You said you leaned across the table and you were kind of going, oh, you don't know what you've done for metal or for me. Do you remember that now?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Say it again.
Lemmy was very humble,
Yes.
ridiculously so. And to the sense where I'm sitting across the table with him in '83 and I'm going, you have no idea what kind of impact you've had on metal. Everybody is doing what you're doing and copying what what you've created. And he just looks at me. In 10 years from now, some other bloke is going to be sitting across the table and say exactly the same thing to you.
And you know what? I don't know how many people have sat across from this Zoom chat and thought the very same thing. The last Friday we had a youngin on. He was probably, very first video, very first band, and he was so overwhelmed. And it's really cool. Like, what is it like to influence young people, to have them come up to you and say, you've changed my life or you've inspired me? I mean, it's gotta be amazing.
You don't go through life thinking about it.
But you do,
though. You don't go, oh my God, you know what I've done. You don't think about things like that.
No, but when a young person comes up to you and says, you've inspired me to become a musician, I mean, that's got to be incredible. And there's
It's
so
quite
many.
nice for the girls' school, obviously, because we get a lot of females come up to us and say, because we saw a female band playing, we decided we can do it too. That's a kind of nice compliment, It's not me. It was me because it's a female band, and
Right.
Yeah, different musicians have different outlook. Like I said the same kind of things to Ted Nugent, and I go, I used to play your songs in all the clubs, and he goes, that's good for you, brother.
Good for you. Yeah, I know. And it was funny. We actually, you had said something. You were it went all over on another site, like Blabbermouth, I think, picked it up. And then we talked about it. I posted that on Ted Nugent's page. He took it down, reposted it as if he found it. Gave me absolutely no credit at all, because who the freak am I, right? But it wasn't interesting.
That was about gun control.
Yeah, it was.
And all I said is, if I lived the life that he has, where he's lived it,
Exactly.
I wouldn't feel any different about guns than he does.
Yeah.
You live under threat, you own a gun. But what the hell? I mean, come on.
I spent 2 weeks in West Virginia.
There's 300 million guns in America. Yeah. What's one more in my pocket just to make sure I don't get shot? And that's basically the fundamental. And that's what I agree with. When it's out of control like that, what other choices are? You can't go the other way. You can't take everybody's guns away. That's never going to happen. So what's the smartest course of action? Probably to own a gun.
When I wrote Wheels of Steel, it were influenced by cat scratch fever. Where that come from?
It's very true, though. I mean, I've been in the Bible Belt. I've been all across America, and it is something that they hold dear, and I don't think they'll ever disarm America. And as a Canadian, it was kind of sad. You know, we do have guns here. We do have problems, but not nearly in the capacity. You know, took me a very long time. I think it was well into my adulthood before I even seen one and held one in person, right? Which
Yeah,
made
it's
me
quite
kind of.
rare in England too, fortunately, for now.
Yeah. And then I was telling them that your police don't even have guns. And they're like, what?
It's quite rare if you see with a taser, really. It's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
First time I ever held a handgun, I was in Germany.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
of my
wow, what a
German-
trip.
one of the roadies that was working with my band, I went to his house and he showed me his gun collection. It was the first time I'd ever held a handgun.
Doesn't feel right, doesn't?
Weighed a ton, man.
Yeah.
Me in
Ton,
Finland,
like
we were in
just
Finland.
holding it straight. Imagine if you're shooting it, you're not going to hit nothing. You don't know how. You got to be trained to use things like that.
Yeah, we were in Finland and they took us shooting with a Magnum and shotguns and everything, and even a machine gun. I found it quite scary to actually hold it. I didn't like the feeling of holding a gun.
No. When I was in Texas, it was we had Sunday dinner after church and shootout. They brought buckets of bullets. You know what I mean? Like it was just a Sunday thing to do. Babies sitting around with headphones on, you know, and people like it was bizarre, but it was fun. I mean,
We wanted a live radio interview, and we got people phoning in, and there was one guy phoned in and said they were going to come to the studio and shoot us. And we had to have the police to escort us out. We were really serious, because at that time they were saying that the records had subliminal messages when you play them. We used to say, if you play our records backwards, it says the Lord's Prayer. That used to be
That's a lovely stigmatism attached to metal, isn't it? It's all demon music. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I miss that kind of shock value. There's no shock value left. You know what I mean? Like you could say that now and everybody would be like, nah. You know, you know, how do you come up with shock value or something new and innovative?
That's it, isn't it? It's like it's all been done, and you see the news. You become so blasé to what's going on. Like there's a bombing and 100 people are killed. Well, just 100 people killed today. We've become so blasé to it, haven't we? Now because the news.
We have, and then so oversensitized to the point of banning Dr. Zeus. You know what I mean?
The movies are so graphic out of the movies now. It's like in real life, it's like, well, is that it?
It's very, very true. That's very, very true. I think it's a fun part of stage presence, though. There's the theatrics, you know, just trying to attain shock value. But I don't know what you'd have to do anymore.
I mean, Alice Cooper back in the 70s got banned from Britain. But some of the things he did, it was absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're nothing now. It's like, is that it? A snake around his neck, or this and a bit of blood from a baby, a pretend doll. It's like you got banned, and now it's like, really? That's like banned.
Yeah, I know. That's
so bad.
We once toured with Rush, and no matter what I did in the finale of the show, their big guy called Lurch, who was 7 foot, used to come up and say, "Don't let me see you do that ever again." Every day I'd try something different, and every day I'd get the same reaction. So in the end, we played Florida, and I threw the guitar on the floor, dropped my pants, and pretended to shag the guitar. At that point, he just gave up. He threw his hands up in the air. But you had to do something visual, because when I saw Jimi Hendrix and I was a 14-year-old guy,
wow.
The thing I remember most about the show at Sheffield was him throwing the guitar above his head into the orchestra pit. More than the music, that lifted me out of my seat. I went with the guitar.
Did it hit anybody?
No, it went into the orchestra pit behind him.
Oh, into the pit. Okay.
That image stuck in my mind for years. So I realized then how important it was. Stagecraft and visuals.
Yes.
And showmanship.
Yep. I've heard so many good bands that they sound so great and they just stand there. Like my one buddy, he was amazing, but he didn't move his head, he didn't move his body, he didn't do anything.
Shoegazing,
Like
they
wall.
call that. Shoegazing.
You have to have
Right over.
presence. No.
Yeah.
What would you say would be a comparable experience to that? Like that was your first concert that made you want to get involved in the music. Hey, here's Lane. He's always late, man. This guy, always late. Love him, but man, this is a very hard time of day to get musicians on this show at 12 o'clock noon in Canada.
Well, you're just
On
getting
a
up.
Monday. On a Monday. I know you guys are later.
Hey,
Hey, Ryan, how are ya?
Hey,
Hey.
what's going on?
We're
You're only
finished
a few
now,
minutes
right?
late. All right. What's going on in Boston?
Oh, a lot of rain and nasty weather, but everything's opening up. They asked me a little too early, but no one's asking me.
I don't know where the sunshine is today because we got really bad rain in Britain too. It's just miserable everywhere. You got,
Yeah,
you
it
got
is.
sun, I
It's
can
raining
see
here
it.
too. What about
Really?
Is it raining in Toronto, Lips?
No, it's sunny. Look, it's sunshine.
No, it's just overcast. It's not raining.
Overcast. Oh, it's not neat. It's just cloudy over everybody, all the same.
Typical,
Aw.
looks like a London day.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking with Graham about actually seeing Jimi Hendrix when he was 14.
Wow.
Yes, he's got an incredible career. Why don't you?
Graham, I think you're relatively the same age as me. I just turned 65 in March. How old are you?
69 last week.
Wow.
So we're
Good number.
a few years apart. Yeah, so you're lucky. I had to sit home while my older brother went to see Hendrix.
My first,
Oh, no way.
But
Oh.
first ever concert I went to, my big brother took me to Sheffield City Hall when I was 12 to see the Rolling Stones with Brian Jones.
fuck.
Brian Jones, oh wow.
Yeah, he was sat right underneath me. I was in the balcony. It gives me chills even to think about it. And I saw all the girls going mad, and I thought, that's what I want to do. Then I saw Hendrix.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I saw Hendrix and that completely.
Obviously, really well.
I never got that right, Graham.
Wow.
What
I'm
venue
blown
did you
away.
see him in? I missed it.
Sheffield City Hall.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
England then.
Wow.
What was a surreal moment for me is when we were on tour in America in '84. I was invited to Jimmy's dad's house, and I met his grandmother, who was 101 at the time. And I met Al, and we had spent the afternoon together. And he told me all about Jimmy's school days, how he used to play the broom. And I asked Al if he still played the spoons, because Al used to say the only thing he played the spoons. He says, "No, son, I eat soup with them now."
You should write a book, Graham. Why haven't you written a book about this?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I should do,
Kidding.
shouldn't I?
Tell the stories.
Yeah.
Right.
But talking about influences, before we digress a bit, one of the funniest things about influences, Metallica played with us the second ever show they ever did. And we were looking to West Coast for inspiration, not Barnsley, you know. But every time they play England, they invite us to the show. And this time I was at Sheffield Arena. And before Metallica came on stage, they played Heavy Metal Thunder, the Saxon classic, which is my guitar solo in that. And they were all young kids sat around me because we had really good seats. And I want to say, this is me playing. I thought, now these kids are going to, this old man's crazy, you know. So I kept my mouth shut, enjoyed the moment.
I bet.
They chose to take to the stage to Heavy Metal Thunder all around the world. As one of their preludes to the play on to the coming on stage.
What do you come on to now then, Graham? What's your intro?
We just walk on like Motorhead because we do so many gigs like you where it's difficult to coordinate. Because you end up doing festivals where you just first time you see the stage is when you go onto it.
This is true, yeah.
You'd make a real tit of yourself if it was a play on weren't correct. But we do use a play on if we do gigs where we've got his own sound guy, which is very rare these days, as you well know. it's the animal that it is today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm,
absolutely.
mhm.
What do you go on to, Lips? Do you have an intro? Lips? Oh, you got me frozen. Oh. Have you got an intro that you go on
He's
to?
just
Here,
stone silent.
Do you have an intro that you go on to?
okay, so the problem is like the sound is really fucked
Do you
up.
have an intro that you go on to?
No, we just generally, we just begin and what happens is I go into the audience before the show starts. And I start the show out there.
Oh, awesome. Crowd interaction. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that people aren't expecting, everybody's expecting the lights on the stage to go on. And when they do, I'm in the audience.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that it has a grounding, like sort of a grounding effect in the sense that you're starting off the show, I'm one of you guys,
Right.
rather than I'm on a stage and you're looking up to me. No, I'm one of you guys, and then I'm going to go to the stage. It
That's
sort
good.
of has a sort of a down to earth sort of feeling that it's not necessarily a concert as much as it's just a party and having fun together.
Right. Right. And it makes the audience feel like you're a part of it and that, you know, you're like real in a sense, right? I mean, I'm sure there are people who would be afraid to do crowd interaction. You know, the crowd might actually go nuts and jump on you and attack you or something, but
I've never had an issue.
no.
Never really. And people usually, it's usually they just want to get their picture taken.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's actually hilarious. I stay out but we start with an instrumental, so I just stay out on the floor for the whole thing. So it's amazing.
Wow.
Some of the most amazing situations are like we played in San Francisco with Y&T, which was unfucking believable at the Fillmore. And I'm standing in the middle of the Fillmore in front of the PA system. I have never heard my guitar that loud. Life, man. You just cannot fucking believe that the bottom end is literally shaking your balls. It's just fuck. I mean, you know what it's like to stand in front of any rig that you have, but not in front of a huge, massive PA system. You hug, jug, 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 jug. Holy fuck!
That's so cool.
I've been out front. I couldn't get back up. I couldn't get the steps. There were no steps. I jumped down into the pit.
Oh well,
Get back up.
it was an elaborate setting up. Was our road cases that went all the way up the stage in the front, so that I could get down and up. That was the whole thing about it.
I'm just looking. I should have thought that through before I did it. It was whacking.
You couldn't go but backstage and walk all the way around because it wasn't really connected to the room. So no one could enter from the room to the stages. So the only way off is off the front. So we used our drum cases, my Fender Twin cases, and stacked them all up so that I could get down.
Brilliant.
And then my roadie waiting for me at the bottom just to make sure that everything is okay. But that was about it.
So,
Have you ever had a situation where anybody messed with the tuning of the guitar by accident? or
Oh,
anything like that?
no.
Oh, but I have a locking nut, so it doesn't affect it. But in the old days, yeah. Oh yeah, it's like they go for a twist.
can you imagine that?
Yeah, Paul.
And in the early days, when you used to wear the leather stuff on your arms with all the studs. Well, I'm out on the floor. It was before the wireless, and some guy grabbed my guitar cord and started pulling on the guitar cord towards the amp. And I'm watching my rig going like this. I go over, and it's a Fender Twin sitting on top of a dual Showman bottom. So it's approximately 5.5 feet tall. So it's gonna come down, right?
Wow.
I take the side of my wrist and just give the guy one club in the side of the and you let go of the cord.
Oh man, we have another funny story, I think. But you know, I do want to get Lane. Can you ask the trivia question for today?
All right, okay.
Run out of
This is-
time.
I have a
Can't
couple
wait
of
for this.
I have a couple of interesting ones, and that's why it was kind of late because I was sort of going through this. But aside from this one, that just kind of like blows my mind. Now, if you go into a New York subway station, okay,
Ooh, I love this subway.
now 15% of what you're breathing, okay, it's either
Urine.
A, fecal matter,
Yeah, that's what
15%,
definitely,
okay.
definitely.
B, B is body odor, like
Mm.
physical body odor. Okay.
I have a-
C is dead skin cells,
Ooh, yeah.
and D is gas fumes from the trains.
Ooh.
15%
Fecal?
of what you're breathing.
Body odor. What was the
Body
third
odor.
one? What was C?
Dead skin cells.
Dead skin cells. And the last one?
Fumes, gasoline fumes.
Are you Googling? Are you Googling there, Kelly?
I'm going with A.
A.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think body odor.
Yeah, I'd say A.
Right on this.
Gasoline fumes.
Gasoline.
Fume,
Wow.
gasoline fumes. And Jackie,
I'll go body odor. Just for difference.
body odor. Now, may keep you guys going back to New York soon, but you're actually breathing in 15% of dead skin cells
Oh, that's so
in the New York
no.
subway system. So every time you breathe in, 15% of what goes into your lungs is
Does it go
other
well with your
people's.
chips? Oh.
Lovely. Here's a fun fact about body odor. If you've ever met a hippie or somebody who's very, very, very smelly, right? That like rancid over, yep. That is not the body odor anymore. That's actually the fecal matter from the bacteria accumulating.
That's
And
what-
after I learned that fun fact, because I was a
By the way, with
tattoo
body
artist.
odor, I thought there's got to be a lot of that down there, sweating.
Oh yeah, I was a tattoo artist. I had to learn about airborne contaminants and all that kind of fun stuff. I was just like, that one stuck with me, man. That one really
It's gonna be
did.
the same in Britain, then on tubes, obviously. So
Yeah. Okay. So do you have
Lovely.
another one?
I do.
need
Okay,
it.
this is I got one more for the moment, but and this one is how deadly sex can be for men. Which one is the most common killer of men during sex? Is it old age, like over 50? Is it, and which isn't really old age? I should just go back there a minute because
terrible, man?
just in a few years I'm
I
gonna
know.
be.
dig in your hole.
I know, right?
50,
Left
yeah,
foot, right foot,
Let me get
right
my
in the
foot
mouth.
out of my mouth and continue. Okay, so is it a young 50 or over? Is it stress? Is it cheating on their wives?
Oh
is
no.
Or would it be what's the last one? Oh, health issues like diseases or something. So
Stress, I think.
stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine you could have a heart attack.
Well, it could be any of those three. I've obviously done it.
That would be health issues, wouldn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Well,
would say
what's
that.
your guess?
I'm going with health issues.
Well,
Yeah.
ironically,
I'm gonna
I'm
say
sorry,
3.
Kelly,
I'm gonna say 3.
which was
There's a lot of crazy people out there that are jealous. Come on now.
okay.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is the majority, the one number one most dangerous killer for men for sex is when they're cheating on their wives.
I knew it. I knew it.
That
I
is
knew it.
stress. Technically, that is stress.
That is stress.
That
You
is,
would
yeah, I
do
was
by
thinking that.
default.
I was
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
yeah. It could be. So
It'd be
everybody
terrible
was
health
kind of
issue
right.
when the wife did find out, because the wife would kill him.
Exactly, right? Aw.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
No. All
well, I've never been
right.
married, so I've never had a wife. There you go. So
Aw.
I'm exempt from that whole situation.
That was fun. Thank you for that. That was great, you guys. It has been a crazy episode. I don't know if I've gotten the warning yet, but we will very, very soon. I wanted to ask you guys what your plans were for the immediate future, Graham, like what you're doing, I guess, when your next performance will be.
Well, everything that we had planned, we had a second visit to Tokyo planned, and Spain. It's all been put back to 2022. So everything that was major has been rebooked for 2022, hopefully. It's like Roger Waters from Pink Floyd said, a lot of people have played the last concert without even knowing it, which is a
Yeah,
true
I know,
statement.
right?
It's
I
really,
know. And I don't think fans are ever going to miss another concert. I posted recently what Canada has to offer in 2022, and man, does it blow. I was as sad as this search. I don't think if a good show comes to town again that anybody's going to miss it or the opportunity to play one. You're not going to say, we'll do it next year.
so far, his next gig that's actually booked is Giants of Rock in,
Oh, wow.
I think it's at
Brooklyn,
Seaside Town.
yeah. Good on that.
I think, yeah, we did it. We've done it together, me and you.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah.
Oh, how's that?
Can't remember. Is it Girls School or Criteria? I can't remember. Probably Girls School, was it?
Yeah.
I remember. I never remember. So many gigs now. So many gigs. What about you, Lip? When's your next one?
Your first gig, when is it again?
It's
Next.
actually, it's somewhere around September 16th or 17th.
Wow, you must be so itching, both of you. Jackie got to play last night.
I got to go through recording before I'm even thinking about I'm playing somewhere. I've got a lot of work and things to worry about before I get there.
It's still live, Ed.
Yeah, I played last night, Lip, but we played in England last night on the day that England got to the cup final.
I know,
So,
right?
talk about Sod's Law.
That's why I asked you how many people showed up.
Yeah, we actually sold out the gig. I mean, it's tables, it's chicken in a basket type thing. So it was like only 50 seats anyway. So it was sold out. So we got there, go, great, full audience. And of course, the football, we had to play it in between the football. So the support band went on first, then the football. And of course, it went to extra time. And then so we didn't get on stage until about 11 o'clock. By then, for Sunday night, a lot of people had to go home, public transport, they had to work today.
And didn't England lose?
And then we lost.
Yeah.
So it was like miserable old audience. They came around, but it was like a very odd atmosphere for the first couple of songs. Like, how did we lose that?
I don't know much about soccer or football, you guys call it, but I heard it was a pretty intense match between Italy and England. Yeah.
But it's the first time we've been in the final since 1966, so it was a massive, massive deal to England. And of course, the whole country was watching this game.
I remember 1966.
You're such a
I would say, I was like, honestly, in the United States, like football or soccer for you guys, for us, whatever, it doesn't usually get that much coverage. But I'll tell you, last night's game that was probably the most, even more than any time when the States are in playing. You know,
like little Italy, little Portugal. You know, everybody's like so close together within like you just cross over. You know,
well, compared to you guys,
right? You're in the other section, right? And it's like warring awesomeness. You know,
it went like Great Britain because we had Scotland in there, we had Wales in there, and we had England in there. And sort of like we're playing Italy. I mean, we had a good team, but we just lost on penalties again. It's like we can't win on penalties, can we, Graham?
No.
You know,
to pay these people how many thousands of pounds a week, and they can't even put a ball in the net.
That's true.
Apparently, they didn't pick the shooters, the good goal penalty men that they left them in the wings.
I know, it's like they put the young kids on, they give them the responsibility to these young boys, and it's going to ruin their lives because they're getting all this abuse now, aren't they? It's awful.
Should have
Wow.
had Richie Blackmore, because when we toured the Rainbow, he insisted every support band played football with him.
Oh,
He was-
wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
he used to kick you in shins. You had to let Richie score the goal. You had to wait for his
You had to
goal.
let him.
Okay, we'll let him, you know.
Aw,
He does him.
that is really fun. I don't know. I'm not good at soccer. I'm not very coordinated at all. I'm really not, was not good at sports. I mean, we're
Nobody
talking
even
about
cares, do you?
track
It's
and
like-
field in school, and I remember running towards the hurdle, getting all nervous. I might have had narcolepsy all along, and just spazzing out and running face first into it, knocking it down and hurting myself really bad. And I was terrified to do it again. Like, I'm just not doing it again, right? I failed track and field like almost every year because I was just not doing it. And, couldn't get coordinated to do a layout.
People just wanted
nothing.
something to hold on to in England. Even people who hate football will never watch it
Yeah.
ever. Just stopped because the atmosphere in the country was
It's
immense.
true.
It just
Right.
Infectious. Yeah.
completely
Wait,
electric. And coming
Well,
One-
like
together.
that with the hockey for us, right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
in
pretty
Boston
much.
as well. Hockey.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely, especially like the north end of Boston, which is all pretty much where the Italians settled. It was just insanely like lit up last night. Fireworks were going off. And
Wow.
every place was, the news were there, coverage. We've never had that. Here, if you guys, I'll leave you with another trivia question.
All
real
right.
quickly.
Yay.
Okay, so check this out. No matter how much we work out or no matter how strong we get, we'll never be as strong as our hair. Okay, how much can our human hair hold? Okay, can it be 10 pounds, 48 pounds, 1,000 pounds, or over 5 tons?
A human hair, did you say? Hair.
Here, the hair,
Hair.
the hair in your head.
Oh, hair. All right.
Hair, sorry.
Oh, the last one. Then, the
Hey,
biggest
I
one.
know that.
Yeah, it's the
accent.
Boston accent.
Awesome.
Okay, so as a hair, can your hair hold 48 pounds? Sorry, what 48
10 pounds, 48, 1,000, or 5
thou-
tons.
or
I'll
5
go the
tons?
last biggest one. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you say over 5 tons, which that would be 10,000 pounds. Okay,
No, I'm
Graham,
gonna
what do
go with 1,000 maybe. I don't know.
1,000. Okay,
Yeah. Graham?
I'll go with 1,000. I've seen Indian fakies hanging by their hair.
yeah.
So that's a full body weight.
Mm-hmm.
Lips. What are you saying?
1,000.
1,000. Actually, human hair can hold over 5 tons.
Oh, you win, Jackie. Nice.
Jackie.
Nice.
Then it
That's
doesn't
crazy.
Graham, because I've seen people can hang by the hair, so it's got to be really strong.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
that's insane. A ton. That
It's amazing.
over 10,000
That's
pounds.
crazy. You know, I
Everything-
used to
everything
do.
up here is incredibly strong. Your brain, your mind, your intellect, your third eye, everything up there is incredibly strong.
That's
The rest
very,
of
very
it's small
true.
bits.
True. I mean, I used to do piercings when I did tattoos and we did suspensions and stuff like that. It's crazy what the human body can endure, what it can do to itself. Just amazing, truly amazing. Actually, to suspend on just a tiny amount of flesh, it's pretty. I would never do it. I've seen it, but it's yeah, it's pretty intense.
So out of the three of you guys, Cyteria and Saxon and Anvil, who's coming to Boston first?
No,
Yeah.
Toronto. Toronto. That is something I'm going to be discussing as soon as possible. Jackie is getting you over here, Lips. If we could do like you guys right here, if we could do something together, that would be absolutely amazing.
Well, we just signed with NORAD Music, so we're looking
Exactly.
at
We just changed it to the name of everything, but we'll fill you in on all that. Yes, that would be super.
I tried to get the agency that we worked with in the U.S. to bring girls' school, and there wasn't enough money being generated.
Okay, so this is what we're working on, Lips, is trying to pull the headliner. And I'm hoping that Silver Lining might be able to help us with that. You know, we have some ideas, you know, we really want to pull this together, and I have incredibly, and I will not say who, pulled some epic sponsors to this. So in time, and this is my problem, I have no freaking patience. I want this to happen like, you know, August,
No.
September, October. I'm like, what are you doing tomorrow? You know what I mean? Let's put on an arena show tomorrow. I know this is not the way it works, but in my brain, I'm like, come on. So I really hope that something like that can be pulled together. Lips, you know, Graham, it'd be an incredible honor to do that. Really, truly it would. So let's see what we can do, you know? Totally. Would you be up for that, Graham?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Make it.
Awesome.
My
Wow.
first tour of America was 1980. And so we'd love to get back while we still got some
Yeah,
license.
Young? Yeah. Yeah, you
1980.
guys.
Really,
I-
1980 last time.
We got 1 minute left. I just want to tell you guys I love you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you so much, each and every one of
Thank
you.
you, Kelly.
All right, guys.
Thank-
Happy-
thank
happy
you,
Monday.
everybody.
Absolutely
Thank
perfect.
everybody again.
Bye. Bye. Oh my
Graham, it was great meeting you.
And you,
Yeah, I hope
Yes,
you
yes.
come back. I hope to see you again soon.
yeah.
Jackie, awesome seeing you. Hopefully this next week I'll see you again.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Bless you all, guys. Have a great
And
month.